Are you aware that Ghana is set to receive 40 more deportees from the United States of America? And these deportees obviously include citizens of Nigeria and other West African countries. This has been revealed by the Minister for Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Ghana, Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa.
I can reveal to you that we are expecting another 40.
Another 40?
Another 40 in the next few days.
Of which nationalities?
West Africans. They understand.
According to the Minister for Foreign Affairs for the Republic of Ghana, Honorable Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, Ghana already has an existing bilateral agreement with the United States of America, which has empowered the Trump administration to further send 40 more deportees into the Republic of Ghana. If you remember, a few weeks ago, Ghana received 14 deportees from the same country, the United States of America, and these deportees included 13 Nigerians and 1 Gambian. As it stands now, Ghana is the only country in West Africa to accept deportees from the United States of America. Prior to Ghana's bilateral agreement with the United States of America, the Trump administration already had agreements with Rwanda, Eswatini, and South Sudan, and these countries previously had accepted deportees from the United States of America. Ghana, under the leadership of John Dramani Mahama, initially accepted 14 deportees from the Trump administration's new policy to launch a crackdown on illegal immigration, and that received 14 deportees, which included 13 Nigerians and 1 Gambian. Per the latest update that has been shared by the Minister for Foreign Affairs for the Republic of Ghana, Honorable Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, 40 new deportees are expected into Ghana from the United States of America, and these 40 deportees are West African citizens or citizens of West African nations, and obviously they will include Nigerians and other nationals. During an exclusive interview with Channel 1 TV in Ghana, the Minister for Foreign Affairs told Bernard Avle that Ghana already has a bilateral agreement with the United States of America, and that has empowered the United States of America to send 40 more deportees into the country.
And the only country in West Africa, the only country so far approached in West Africa by the Americans. And we thought that, look, West Africans already under the ECOWAS protocol can visit any country visa-free, stay for 90 days. So on principle, on humanitarian grounds, Pan-African solidarity, let us accept our fellow West Africans, and let's make the point that Ghana is your home. We are not going to allow you to
accept them
distressed.
to keep them here, or accept them to send them back to their countries.
So the choice is theirs, really. For 90 days, if they want to stay here, they can stay. But so far, all of them have indicated that they want to go back after some time, and we've been facilitating that. I can reveal to you that we are expecting another 40.
Another 40?
Another 40 in the next few days.
Of which nationalities?
West Africans. The understanding we have is that it will be West Africans. And don't forget that...
Do you vet them?
Yes.
Before they... Why did we agree to this?
So let's be clear. We didn't agree to this because we agree with President Trump's immigration policies. We are not doing the US a favor. Okay. We are doing our fellow Africans a favor. We are offering them refuge. We are offering them succor. We are offering them hope. We want them to come back home and be comfortable. We solidarize with them when we see those images, the arrests, the violation of their rights, being detained against their will, and it's as though nobody wants to take them. So it was purely on humanitarian basis, and we have made clear that we did not accept any financial benefit whatsoever. We are doing this because we want to continue to position Ghana as that country which has always been the Mecca for Africans, for freedom fighters. We will avail ourselves to help fellow Africans in this.
So pardon my ignorance.
So it is not about
pardon my ignorance. If you have 14 Africans, 1 Nigerian, 13 Nigerians, 1 Gambian, why wouldn't their governments take them? Why do we have to take them?
Yes, so you do know that the Americans have been approaching governments they consider friendly. That's what, at least when they engaged me, and I've been to the State Department on numerous occasions for these talks, and they have indicated that they are approaching countries they consider friendly countries,
despite the
allies.
The tariffs.
You know, the tariffs.
The 10%.
The tariffs were general, really.
Okay.
He slapped it on all countries, so they have said that don't use that to judge our relations. Everybody, you know, received
the MCC too.
Received.
We are not getting.
Yes, and really for the MCC, it was our own doing.
AGOA is also off.
The PDS and all of that. Yes,
but we are still a friendly country.
We are clearly a friendly country because they approached us, and I think that if you look at the region in terms of what we are doing with the Americans, the strategic cooperation we have, even with intelligence sharing, with security, we have a lot going on in health. Even despite the withdrawal of the U.S. AID support, there's still a lot of cooperation in the health sector. You take the energy sector, communication sector. So there's a wide spectrum of cooperation that the two countries enjoy, and it is within that spirit. Remember that we are the 5th African country after Rwanda, Uganda, Eswatini, and another country. We are the 5th country, and the only country in West Africa, the only country so far approached in West Africa by the Americans. And we thought that, look, West Africans already under the ECOWAS protocol can visit any country visa-free, stay for 90 days. So, on principle, on humanitarian grounds, Pan-African solidarity, let us accept our fellow West Africans, and let's make the point that Ghana is your home. We are not going to allow you to
accept them to keep them here, or accept them to send them back to their countries.
So the choice is theirs, really. For 90 days, if they want to stay here, they can stay. But so far, all of them have indicated that they want to go back after some time, and we've been facilitating that. I can reveal to you that we are expecting another 40.
Another 40?
Another 40 in the next few days.
Of which nationalities?
West Africans. The understanding we have is that it will be West Africans. And don't forget that...
Do you vet them before they come?
Yes, we vet them.
What caveats do you give the Americans?
So we have said that...
Who is not acceptable?
Hardened criminals, convicted criminals. When the background check reveals that you've associated with terrorism, with violent extremism, you are a very violent person. You are on a certain Interpol wanted list for violent crimes, because we have the data. You will not be allowed in our country. So it's really people who probably
why didn't you ratify the MOU with Parliament?
Yes, so it's an MOU at this stage, just an understanding, and MOUs are not ratified. But really? as the discussions continue, if it is elevated to an agreement,
the Guantanamo 3. Some people took the matter to court, and I think the Supreme Court held that whatever name you give it, when two countries come up with an arrangement, that places obligations on both of them. Whether you call it a treaty, a contract, it requires ratification. It was a majority decision. Only one person dissented. So I'm a bit surprised you're saying because an MOU, it means that it oughtn't have gone to Parliament. The judgment was very clear on the Guantanamo 3, that Article 75 was violated, which says international agreements must go through Parliament, and you are a 4th MP, so at least you could have gone to Parliament, and you have a massive majority. So what's the problem?
No, I agree with you, and that is why I said at the press conference I held a couple of days ago that when this is elevated beyond an MOU and it's a full agreement, we will go to Parliament under Article 75 and have it ratified. At this point, it is just a loose understanding.
The agreement is enforced. But how can you enforce? How can you enforce something called a loose agreement? That is already enforced. You've got 14. You're bringing 14.
Look, I've inherited so many MOUs that didn't go to Parliament for ratification, and
but because of the precedent of the Gizmo 3, I felt like this was, and you know this. So is it an oversight? Are you going to apologize for it, or you don't think you made a mistake?
No, it's not an oversight, because we sought the Attorney General's advice. It was discussed in Cabinet, and the Attorney General's advice, and his counterpart, the Attorney General on the US side, also said that, look, this is an MOU, and MOUs do not require ratification. That is why
the Attorney General is wrong, because the judgment is clear. I can read it.
Oh, you know better law than the Attorney General?
At least the law is there for all of us to read. Unless the English reading of what the Supreme Court said is different to all of us.
I didn't see MOUs in that judgment.
The language of Article 75 is perfectly clear. The article forms part of the set of provisions governing the role of the executive arm of government in Ghana's international relations. I'm reading the judgment.
Yeah.
The scope of the article deals with treaties in general. The side notes and the body of the text makes reference to treaties, agreements, and conventions. It is also clear that the instruments referred to relate to Ghana's international relations with other countries or groups of countries, and the article requires that such instruments must be ratified by Parliament. The Constitution makes no mention of any formal distinctions that are dependent on the formality with which such an instrument is formatted or brought into being. Then it goes on to even list MOUs, etc. This is the judgment. This is Sophia Kufu. I'm not the one saying it. So I don't know whether you're saying because the AG says, in fact, if the argument of the defendant in the state, the government, were to be taken seriously, that the transaction being by way of note verbal, executive agreement, memorandum of understanding, diplomatic note, or what have you, is merely administrative one, then the question arises as to the exact status of the said persons now that they are in Ghana. Are they migrants? It's a long argument. It basically says once two countries agree on something of that nature, Parliament must ratify. It's very clear.
We are working with.
It could be recalled that during John Mohammed's first coming as the president of Ghana, Ghana accepted 3 deportees from the United States, who later became popularly known as the Guantanamo 3. And the issue had to be taken to the Supreme Court of Ghana for further clarification. In the ruling of the Supreme Court, it was made clear at any point that the government was going to enter into any form of agreement of such nature, it should require a parliamentary ratification. However, this bilateral agreement that the United States of America has with the government of Ghana, the government of Ghana has failed to pass the agreement through Parliament for ratification, and they are going ahead to accept deportees from the United States of America. Do you think that it is a good move from the government of Ghana? Please let us know your comment in the comment section. Please also don't forget to like the video and share.